The world of handmade business can be tough when trying to monetize what you love. We've got truth bombs and motivation to help you find your way through. Passion to profit, let's start today, 'cause the world needs what you create. Tune in right now, it's your shot to learn how to be a handmade boss.
So boss, you've been posting on socials for a while now and probably feel like everyone else is growing, but you are not. So here today, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit more about exactly what you need to do to grow your audience on social media the easy way. Everything I'm going to be talking about in today's episode, I have tried and tested myself, and I have found has been the easiest way to grow on socials. Now, one thing I'm also going to very quickly say here is that none of this stuff is going to be instant. None of this stuff is even going to be quick, but all of the stuff that I'm going to be sharing is going to be easy and effective. Hi everyone, I'm Steph, and if you are new around these parts, I help handmade business owners start, run and scale their handmade business from expensive hobby to consistent 6 figures and beyond on Etsy and on your own website. I help over 80,000 business owners every single week with my free advice. I also have a best-selling book. If you search on Amazon, How to Be a Handmade Boss, you will find it. It's got my face on it. A Facebook group and an Instagram channel where everything is popping off. And I also go live every single Monday. So let's get into today's nitty gritty stuff. So social media can sometimes feel like a bit of a minefield, right? We know we should be doing it. We know that if used in the right way, it's going to grow our business. But how do we do it in a way where it doesn't feel like it's taking over our lives? It doesn't feel ridiculously hard and it doesn't feel overwhelming. Right. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about today is the fact that, and I think this is something that a lot of people miss, and to get sales from social media, it's literally a numbers game. And I know that I've just made it sound ridiculously easy, and you're probably sat there like, yeah, but is it though, Steph? It really is, because the fact of it is that you only have to please between 2 to 5% of your audience for them to make their way to your website, your Etsy shop, wherever it is that you send people. So stop being vanilla because you're trying to please everybody. This is something that I see a lot of handmade business owners doing. It is where they will just post very basic vanilla stuff because they want to attract and engage with, I suppose, as many people as possible. But the problem with this is that if you're being vanilla, no one is going to stop their scroll. No one is going to care about your content. Why? Because it's the same as every other stuff in their feed. This is where knowing your target audience, what do they like? Who do they follow? What kind of content do they engage with? And you can do this by going on to your competitors' social media, having a look at their followers, digging into their profiles. Just have a click around and explore. I get a lot of people who are like, but Steph, how do I actually do that? It is literally as simple as going to a competitor of yours, going onto the followers bit of their profile and digging into each one of their profiles, right? But the problem with not knowing your target audience, and again, I see this happen a lot, is you don't really know what they're thinking about. You don't really know what their problems are. You don't even really know what kind of content they want to see. And if that is you, you are probably posting vanilla content that really has nothing to do with your target audience and what they need to know from you, what problems they have, and what pain points that they want you and your brand and your product to hit for them. So stop posting vanilla content. Stop trying to please everybody because you are afraid of people not liking you, people judging you. Because again, the fact of it is you only need to please 2 to 5% of your audience. That's it. The rest of the people you shouldn't even really care about. Now, just while we're on this topic, you need to go and listen to episode 42 because there I'm going to talk about how to have a calm and easy social media strategy. So you definitely want to go and listen to that after you've listened to this because they complement each other really, really well. The next thing I want to talk about is 2 different types of content. Okay, so I talk a lot about the T, right? Having things down to a T. And what do I mean by that? Well, I want you to think of literally a capital T, okay? You have the top of the T that goes wide. You have the stalk of the T that goes deep. That is social media, right? To a T. No pun intended. That is what social media should be doing for you. You should have content that goes wide, but you should also have content that goes deep. They both have different goals. Okay, the going wide side of things is shareable and engageable content that's easy for people to share, save, comment, engage on, and just in general get involved with. These are things like asking questions, pop an emoji below, fill in the blank, anything that you can think of. Okay, so that's the going wide style of content that you need. All right. The next side of it is going deep. Now, this is where once your going wide content has attracted people in, this is where you are going to build a connection and a relationship with them. This is where you are choosing one specific little tiny thing and you are talking about it. You're sharing your expertise. You're telling people the answers to the burning questions that they have. So a great example of this is, let's say, for example, we have someone in our Rise mastermind that sells dog grot collars, and now she sells normal collars through the work that we've done together, right? What a really great example for her would be, okay, well, the shareable and engageable content, the going wide content could be something like, describe your dog's favorite hobbies in just emojis. That is something that everyone who has a dog can get involved with. And it's really, really fun to see people start to comment and then comment on other people's comments. And that's where your reach and obviously your engagement starts to skyrocket. Right? But then you have the going deep, the building connection type of content, which then could go on to talk about the different types of paracord, what you should and should not look out for when you're buying a dog collar, and really going deep and showcasing what you know. So again, the letter T, going wide and going deep. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is consistency. It's not sexy. Posting regularly is not sexy, but it is the thing that I have found to be the easiest way to grow your social media following. Now, we do have a social media sidekick membership that is going to help you with this. Okay, so literally this is where myself and my team every single month will send you social media on the free version of Canva. By the way, it's completely free for you to edit and change. We will send you templates that are extremely relevant to that month, that all you need to do is change a few bits and boom, your social media is done. We're even going to send you captions. We're going to send you trends. We're going to send you a beginner's guide to social media. We're going to send you everything you need to get this stuff done, so it's not on your to-do list cluttering up your brain. Post on social media, be consistent. It's already done for you. Okay, so if you want a really easy and just serene way to do social media, then join the Social Media Sidekick membership, or SMS for short. If you go to handmadebosses.com/SMS, you will find it there. Along these lines is that you cannot expect your audience to consistently be coming to your brand and following you if you are posting for 2 weeks and then ghosting for 6 weeks. If you are going all out and posting multiple times a day for a week and then doing nothing for a month, the algorithm is not going to like that. The algorithm, what it wants is people posting decent content on a consistent basis. Now, when I say decent content, I do not mean it has to be a 10 out of 10 all the time and you're stressing yourself out saying, oh my God, I need my content to be really, really good. You don't need to do that, okay? Sometimes my content is a 2 out of 10 and I'm like, that was a bit naff, wasn't it? Oh well, moving on. People still consume it. People still engage with it. And just a side note here is that just because someone doesn't like literally double tap your social media, it doesn't mean that people are not not consuming it. I want you to be honest with me now. When was the last time that you consistently interacted with a piece of content that you liked? Probably 1 out of 10 times, 2 out of 10 times will you actually engage with it. It's the same for most other people. So don't assume that no one is seeing your stuff because you're not getting engagement. Now, the next thing, which is another little tip, is post 1 story a day and make sure that that 1 story a day has an engagement sticker on it. This is something that I have tested myself for a long time, like such a long time, and it always works. If I'm posting 3 to 5 stories a day, or even more than that, it used to be that all of these stories used to get reach. Nowadays, though, what I've been testing for a long time is doing 1 to 3 stories a day, but let's just do 1 just to keep it easy, and putting an engagement sticker on it. And what an engagement sticker is, like you've got the little tap this emoji thing, you've got polls, you've got type a question in here, you've got shake to reveal, you've got all these interactive stickers and things that you can put on stories. Do 1 story a day, put one of those on there. And what I find that the more you do this, 1 story a day, engagement sticker, the more you do this, the more your stories will get pushed out. And now it's actually getting to the point where my stories are getting a lot of reach, sometimes even more reach than what my reels do, which is really, really funny and really, really weird. Because again, Instagram says that reels are what pushes your content out to different and more people. So 1 story a day, engagement sticker, start it as a daily habit and see how you get on. Try it for 6 months and let me know how it goes. The next thing is to run a giveaway. Now, this is something that I have done sporadically when I've hit milestones and all that sort of thing. And I will say that every single time it doesn't disappoint in the results that it gives me. What you want out of a social media giveaway is you want engagement on that one piece of content. You also want people to share or tag people in the comments, okay? And you also want people to follow you, because what this does, it's a bit like a mini social media launch. You want to build hype, you want to bring people to you, you want to basically say, here I am, I'm here and I'm ready and I'm putting myself and my products and my brand out there. Okay. Now, a couple of things with this. You need to make sure that you are not going against the terms of service of any social media platforms that you are using. And just do yourself a favor. Make sure that the prize is actually something decent, because if not, people will not bother to do those steps. Don't make people do more than 1, 2, or 3 actions to be entered in, because if you're asking them to follow you, share and save, do this, do that, people just will not do it. So I like to aim for 2 to 3 actions that you want people to take to be entered into your giveaway. But honestly, I have found that every time I've done this, things have started to shake, rattle and roll for me. The next thing that I want to talk about is following competitors and engaging with their audience. Now, a great thing to do here is to look on the explore page, okay, especially when it comes to Instagram, all right, is to look and have a little explore around your competitors and see who their audience is. Who are they following? Who are they engaging with? Now, I do understand that a lot of these accounts will be private, and that's okay. But you will find some, especially if there's over, 500 people, you will find some that you could have a little nosy at, and you can see what other things that they post, what they engage with. It's a fantastic way, all while being quite time consuming. I appreciate that, but it's a really fantastic way to see your target audience and see what their lives are like. That is something where I would say the next step to this would be, if you are seeing accounts that are posting things that you can engage with, to engage with them. Leave a couple of meaningful comments on their photos. Don't use bots to do this, by the way, guys, and don't copy and paste comments, but just leave something decent. Just leave a really meaningful, thoughtful comment. If you're spending 15 minutes a day doing this, try that for 3 months, and I promise you will see results. Why? Well, because guess what? Social media, the clue is in the name. You got to be social. You got to be talking to people. You got to be interacting with others. No more are the days where you can just create a social media profile, sit back and relax while everyone comes to you. It doesn't necessarily work like that anymore. The next thing that I want to talk about is you got to be reviewing your social media every single quarter. okay? And then you've got to pivot and change based on what's working. This is something that no one seems to do, and it is something that everyone should be doing, because at the end of the day, if you are not reviewing your social media every single quarter and making changes, then you're not growing. You're just posting the same old stuff. You're stuck in your ways, and you're just doing it out of habit more than out of making sure that it's actually doing something for you and your business, okay? So make sure to review your social media, what's been working for you, what hasn't been working for you. Cut out and stop doing what's not working and go all in on or continue to do what is working. All right, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to bring in 2 handmade business owners, and I want you to just kind of see if you recognize anything in yourself with these 2 comparable business owners. All right, so let's first of all bring in Sam, okay? So Sam tries to be consistent, but ends up posting okay for 2 weeks, and then she ghosts it for 6 months. Not so great. Sam also understands that life gets in the way of her socials all of the time. She's always saying she doesn't have time, she doesn't have time, she doesn't have time. But the reason for this is because she does everything on the fly. She posts stories on the fly. She creates reels on the fly. Everything is last minute. Sam also knows that social media for her feels super overwhelming and a bit like a burden. She's trying to post on all of the different social media accounts. We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook. Sorry, not Twitter, X. We've got Facebook, we've got this, we've got that. And she is just feeling like it's super burdening, and she doesn't even really know if it's working for her. Sam also never reviews her social media. She never looks at her own stuff and just carries on posting what she thinks will make her go viral. Sam also tries to please everybody. She just posts very vanilla content, and when she gets a negative comment or something happens, she takes it personally and she just stops posting because she's like, oh my God, nobody likes me, I'm just going to stop posting. Whereas Lydia understands her personal and brand value, so she really knows and is super in touch with the kind of person she cares about attracting. And if you want to know more about this, please do go and listen to episode 42. Lydia has committed to posting regularly and enlists help to enable her to do just that. And newsflash, this is through her joining the Social Media Sidekick membership. Notes for that will be in the show notes below. Lydia also knows results will not be guaranteed quickly, but she sticks at it because she knows although consistency is not sexy, it is what gets results. And she also reviews her social media quarterly and makes changes. All right, so you guys, your homework for this week is as follows. So I want you to write down somewhere where you're going to see it every day that I only have to please 2 to 5% of my audience, and stop being vanilla. Research your target audience and post what they want, specifically for them. I also want you to go and listen to episode 42. If you've listened to it before, go and listen to it again and take notes. I also want you to think a little bit more about the big capital T, the going wide content and the going deep content. So we have shareable and engageable content and content that goes deep and builds a connection with your target customer. I also want you to post regularly and be consistent with social media. And I would also love it if you would join us inside of SMS, the Social Media Sidekick membership, because this is going to really help you with that. Go and have a look at the page. If it's not for you, cool, that's fine. But at the very least, you want to make sure to put a plan in place to be consistent. Now, the next thing is, if it feels good for you, I want you to post a story every day with an engagement sticker. Commit to this for at least 6 months. The next thing is, again, if it feels good, I want you to run a giveaway and try and test that. The next thing is I want you to have a look at some competitors and engage with their audience for 15 minutes a day. Commit to that for 3 months. And the last thing is I want you to review what you've been doing on social media for the last quarter and pivot and change depending. All right, and my lovelies, one last favor that I would love for you to do, if you have found this podcast and this episode helpful, wherever you are listening right now, if you could do 2 things for me. One, if you would subscribe, because yes, I didn't know up until recently, but actually subscribing to a podcast boosts it in the algorithm. Now, not only that, but if you want to be an extra super duper duper special boss, which is going to get a gold star from me, if you wouldn't mind leaving me a review wherever you are listening to this, review the podcast podcast because, again, it just does help more people to find it. And we need people to listen in order to carry on sharing these awesome tips and tricks. Thank you so much for listening, boss, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to How to Be a Handmade Boss. And if you're eager to boost your Etsy sales within just 7 days, then be sure to join my most popular free training at handmadebosses.com/conversion. You can also find the link in the show notes as well. Keep an eye out for our next episode where we'll be continuing our journey towards handmade business success together. And until then, keep crafting and stay inspired because the world really does need those special creations that only you can make.